What is going on, everybody, and welcome to another episode of It's Not the Personal, Just Buffalo. I am your host, JTM. We got my co-host in the building with me, as we like to call him, the NFL pedigree, James Mallory. And, yeah, people, coming off a very, very entertaining loss. I mean, a loss nonetheless, but a very entertaining loss to the Los Angeles Rams. Buffalo Bills falling 44-42. Something looked like a recent game that's going to happen, like the Citrus Bowl or Meineke Bowl or something like that, just putting up points left and right, comebacks, all time, block punts. You had a little bit of everything in this game, right? Yeah. But yeah, tonight we got a good show lined up for you. We're going to talk a little bit about, obviously, the Bills coming up short in this game. We're going to talk about Puka Nacua going absolutely nuclear on the Buffalo Bills defense. But we're going to talk about, we know Puka's a great receiver. We're going to talk about why we think it happened, okay? We're going to talk about Josh Allen MVP odds have increased from 250 to 550 now for Vegas. So we're going to talk about how close he is to locking that up after a 6-touchdown performance. 3 passing, 3 rushing, something that's straight out of Pop Warner. Looking like a Buffalo Bets kid out there, you know what I'm saying?
You know.
Did that in there for you. McDermott once again being questioned by the fan base. It seems like after every loss, no matter if we have 7 wins in a row, we start getting questions, but we'll talk about that a little bit. And then we're also going to talk about the most concerning part of the defense for us moving forward, since obviously they got absolutely shredded to pieces last week. And last but not least, the Bills preparing for, as I like to call it, the showdown in Motown. You know what I mean? Like something like the OJs versus the Four Tops going down this Sunday versus the Lions. But let's hop right into it, man. Obviously, Buffalo Bills lost this game 44-42. Absolute instant, as they like to call it, ESPN classic. Okay, I would just say this: lost nonetheless. And James, and I'm going to bring you in on this one. As a pure football fan, not an analyst, a fan. He actually is a fan, an analyst, a player, a coach. You had to give a round of applause to both teams in this game.
Great.
What a hell of a football game.
That it was. That was a shootout. That was a very entertaining game. Wasn't a dull moment. Is that the type of game you want as a Bills fan? No. You don't want 40 points scored. Hold on, I got to sneeze. Hold on.
That's just him being allergic to
Sorry
poop
about
and
that, my
cool.
people. So, yeah, I mean, it was just a situation where these dudes are scoring all over the place. Both teams, finding ways to get the ball in the end zone. So from a fan's perspective, I mean, that's very entertaining, fun to watch. But as a football guy, I'm like, that's not something we want to see given up by our defense, right? Our offense has been scoring. There's 30 points has just been the norm lately. Last 2 months, 30 points, 30 plus points has been the norm. So that was to be expected. But when the defense gave up that many points, that was not to be expected, right? The block punt, I'll talk more about that as we get on to the show. Because me personally, I think that was the difference in the game. And I'll tell why. But some things that we got to shore up. Nothing concerning for me because I knew I would have been concerned if we'd have won out, JT. That would have scared the shit out of me.
Really?
If we would have won out, I would have been scared. Man, listen, I'd have been shaking like Las Vegas crab dice. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah. I knew it was either going to be this game or the Lions game. The Lions game don't scare me as much as that Rams team. Yeah. The two teams that scared me, and I talked about this before this season started, the Arizona game and that Rams game. Those are two difficult matchups, right? Those teams, I just didn't think we matched up well against them. Yeah. But the Lions are going to be a tall task, but I think we will be all right. But in regards to this week, it's just some things we got to show. We got to be better on the defensive line. Have to be. Yeah. We got to be better in the secondary. Point blank. Period. And punt coverage. I take great pride in that. In college, there's no secret. I don't want not to keep talking about myself, but I was one of the one of the top special teams players in the country multiple years in a row. My brother was a All-American special teams player as well, so we take great pride in that. My bloodline, and just watching that, I think we had some guys that took a playoff, right? And when you taking a playoff can cost you 7 on special teams, so that's something you can't take for granted. Special teams is something very, very unique, and I just think that we got to shore that type of stuff up.
So overall, going back to this game, I just feel like, obviously, I can't say that the Buffalo Bills lost in 3 phases of the game. We definitely lost in 2 phases. We lost on the defensive side and we lost on special teams. Offensive side, I think we actually won the ball game.
Agreed.
Offensive side of the ball. So we won 1 of 3 phases. And when you talk about the difference in this game, and I know me and you've talked about this week, I have to agree with you. Both offenses were scoring. Neither defense can stop either offense. Okay. Yep. Now, mind you, I will say this: the Bills' defense did get some key stops when they needed. I believe when they were down 38-21, they got two back-to-back stops, allowed offense to bring the game back to 38-35. So it's not like they didn't stop anything. Okay, they got some key stops there. I have to agree with you that the big difference in this game was, as you called it a couple years ago versus the Pittsburgh Steelers, was the double thumb.
A double thud.
Double thumb. Yeah.
Whenever you hear that doop, your heart drops as a football player.
And you've said it multiple times. What's the percentage of a loss or win?
Last I checked, it was like 92%. It was some high. It was in the 90s. If you have a block kick, you win the game like 92, 93% of the time. Something really, really high.
I mean, and there's some truth to that. Let's just be honest. There's a lot of truth to that. And obviously, the last 2 times we've seen the Bills get block punts for touchdowns, it's been resulting in 2 losses.
But you gotta look at what people don't realize, and it pissed me off because I talked on my Facebook, put a Facebook post up, and it pissed me off how people was talking about that call from McDermott.
Which one?
That's football ignorance.
Which one?
Because you don't understand, a block punt is a 2-possession swing.
Yeah.
You don't get you not only are you punting the ball to them and pinning them back, right? Mm-hmm. They're getting an extra possession, and not only an extra possession, they're scoring on it immediately. So you scoring yourself over not once but twice. That's horrible, right?
Right.
What was that?
No, I saw Ray Cruz said 9 players on a block punt. That wasn't the block punt.
No.
That was the punt return at the end of the game.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, but that was unacceptable, man. Like people don't understand how big a block punt is. Like that is, oh my goodness. Like that was huge, man. You go from this at that point, I believe the score was it was 10-7, right? And we were punting the ball back to them. They blocked the punt and it made it 17-7.
Yeah, yeah.
That's the game. That's literally the game. Like, I don't understand how people can even anything else is irrelevant. If you don't have that block punt, that changes everything. It does. You know. But yeah, that was bad. That was no good.
Obviously, I agree with you. I thought that was probably the biggest moment in the game. Uh, but like I said, Buffalo still had their chances to come back. It's just that the defense really couldn't stop anything. I know we were talking about, um, actually we're gonna have D Dot on the show tonight, and we're gonna have to do a little bit of reverse. I'm actually gonna when he does come on, I'm gonna ask him a little bit about what the Rams offense was doing to the Bills defense, to exploit them. But when I go through some of these numbers, okay, and we might just go hop right into our topic of our most concerning part of the Bills defense is when you look at some of these numbers from this game, okay, and this is coverage numbers. Teron Johnson targeted 11 times, 8 receptions, 77 yards, 3 first downs. Puka Nacua had 162 yards, if y'all didn't know that. 4 catches, 53 yards, 2 first downs on it. Cooper Kupp, 2 catches, 14 yards. Christian Benford, okay, and we're going to talk about Christian Benford tonight because I think it's a very important topic at this point in time to question whether or not Christian Benford at this point should be just shadowing the team's best receiver moving forward. That's something we normally don't talk about, but I think it's something that needs to be brought up at this point in time. We'll go back to these numbers. Christian Benford targeted 5 times, 3 catches, 43 yards. Big difference there. Rasul Douglas targeted 4 times, 3 receptions, 65 yards, 3 first downs given up.
Repeat that, Rasul Douglas numbers.
Targeted 4 times, giving up 3 catches of 65 yards, all 3 catches of first downs. Okay. Damar Hamlin targeted 3 times, 44 yards. Obviously, it's very hard to decipher safeties and linebackers with their coverage because when you're throwing to certain zones with PFF grading, it's very wonky with linebackers and safeties in zones. So I can't really say the safety. Jamarcus Ingram targeted 1 time, 19-yard reception. Obviously, we know that was the last touchdown to Puka Nacua on the bubble screen, which absolutely ran to perfection by those guys in timing with Cooper Kupp, moving Ingram out to play. So I gotta ask you, most concerning part of this defense now is we did this topic earlier in the season. Is what to you?
Secondary. JT.
Which part specifically?
The safeties. The safeties. And you and I had this discussion at length. We said we was gonna put it on the show. Talk about this. I think we gambled and I think we lost in one way, but I don't think it hurt us. But Damar Hamlin doesn't make plays, man. And it's not that he's a bad football player. Understand what I'm saying, people? Your safety is just that, the safety, right? They're the last level of defense, and they're supposed to make plays for you. They're supposed to back up your guys. Like they gotta make your wrongs right, so to say, right? Now, one thing the Bills fans got spoiled with is Jordan Poyer and Micah Hyde made a lot of wrongs right. And I have yet to see Damar Hamlin do that. He does a solid job. He's an average safety. He is. He's not a playmaker at all. I have yet to see him make a play. They'd be like, damn. Like, if it wasn't for him making that play, that would have been 6. That hasn't happened. And what I believe is starting to happen is guys, they understand he's not a playmaker. They understand his limitations. And once again, I'm not saying he's bad. He's an average safety. And now we're starting to see is the effects of not having a Jordan Poyer, Micah Hyde combination of safeties. Like a lot of that stuff, two seasons ago, that never happens. That will never happen with them two guys back there. Like I'm gonna just give one play. That Puka, the not Puka, the Cooper Cup touchdown.
Yeah.
When Rap Awareness hit his own man and messed up his ribs. A play, I'm telling you, Poyer or Hyde is playing the ball and they're separating them. Period. They separating the man from the ball. I mean, all you have you make any type of contact, the ball falls. The man ended up had to readjust it on his knee. So I'm concerned that position could cost us a game, which I believe it did cost us a game. I think Rap is playing well enough to for us to win the Super Bowl. I just don't think Hamlin is. And the thing is, he's playing well enough to keep his job. He's like right there in the middle. He's teetering. Like if you bench him, there's no reason to. you know what I'm saying? Because there's nothing he's done wrong, right? So I'm very, very concerned about that safety position and the playmaking ability. We haven't had many interceptions or fumble recoveries from them, have we?
No. I think we got one. Well, we got a couple interceptions from. We got like one or two interceptions from Hamlin and a couple of recoveries from the guys. But I mean, nothing really nothing major. You know what I mean?
Yep. No impact. We got to think about it. That says a lot, right? So we need more out there, and then it goes from there to just the D line getting more pressure, right? And then and once again, I'm gonna give the Rams. You got to give the Rams credit. They had to get great game plan for just getting the ball out too, so that your D line can't be effective. So we have to give them credit as well. I'm give props where props is due. Giving them that credit. Matt Stafford is a veteran. Hey, don't forget, Bills fans, McVay is one of the best play callers ever. Like he's an elite play caller. So they did a great job of calling plays. They executed. They don't got slouches over there. They got some weapons, man. So it's not like we lost to some scrubs. People get caught up in looking at the record. We lost to a good team. We got to bounce back though. But I am concerned about it goes safeties to the D line.
Okay. So I'm gonna be completely honest with you, and I've definitely stated this before. My concern is not with the safeties, and the reason my concern is not with the safeties is because I'm almost positive we all knew when we lost Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer, and that was the end of an era. For this particular season, we were not getting that type of performance back. That
100%.
That was in the past. It was gone. We knew that specifically at the safety position. I don't think it wasn't a gamble. I don't look at it that way. It was we didn't have any damn money. So, Mike Edwards didn't work out because think about it. Mike Edwards was supposed to be probably a starter.
Okay? Yes, 100%.
Then Cole Bishop was supposed to be a starter. And lo and behold, here he is. He gets injured in camp. Mike Edwards gets injured in camp. You're forced to start Hamlin. You don't have any money. You don't have any money to fix that position at all. Yeah. But what I will say, and I just want to get these numbers. Okay.
At Oliver time.
You're damn right. You're damn right. It's at Oliver time. Okay, or lack thereof at Oliver. Okay, we have about almost $30 million invested in this season between Ed Oliver and Daquan Jones.
Yes.
And we got about 7 QB pressures between them. We have 3 sacks, 2 which came from Daquan Jones. Okay, there's little to no impact. We had a statue quarterback last week, and they couldn't get any pressure from the inside. All the pressure was coming from Epinesa, Rousseau, or Von Miller, who people want to continue to scream as a shell of himself. Well, what about these 2 guys that were playing in the middle? And we're praying that a rookie comes back and makes an impact in the interior. But they're not going to catch the slack? Oh, hell no. Hell no. How much money are we paying Hamlin and Rapp? Probably between them. Probably about $5 million this season.
Rap just got that contract. So what do you get in a year?
He was like, it was about $3 million, maybe 4.
That's it?
Yeah, it wasn't much. It was about 4 million. It wasn't nothing crazy.
Oh wow, okay.
And DeMar Hamlin on a 6th round rookie deal, so that ain't much of anything. Okay, you get what you pay for. But we paying for these dudes to rush the pass from the inside, and we're not getting that. We're not even getting this. I don't even know where Ed Oliver is. I can never put Dawson Knox back on the milk carton because Ed Oliver is gone missing. Completely. I'm serious. It's like, that's why I say, like, that D-line was supposed to be the reason we were going to be able to get away with this cheap safety group. That is what we were supposed to do. And because Ed Oliver ain't showing up, and because Daquan Jones ain't showing up, and there's no injury designation, okay? For the first year, Daquan is healthy, Ed is healthy.
Yes.
We're getting nothing from them. Not even QB pressures. We're getting absolutely nothing. So if you want to ask me what the more concerning part of this defense is, it's that part. Because honestly, when you really think about it, and you think about our pay structure on the defense, that's where our money has been invested.
It should be the strength. It should definitely be the strength.
It should be the strength. But when you're giving these quarterbacks 5 and 6 seconds to throw the football, yeah, it's going to be hard for these cornerbacks to cover. Yeah, but you're gonna question if Matt Milano looks rusty. You're gonna question if DeMar Hamlin can play. You're gonna question if Taylor Rapp can play. I get it. But we knew that these guys were never going to be to the level of Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. That is literally one of the best safety duos to ever touch a football field. They're never going to get credit for how good they were because they didn't win the Super Bowl and they're playing a small market. But that is literally one of the best safety duos to ever play on a football field.
For sure.
So if you ask me, the most concerning part is and not just our defensive line, because I think Epinesa and Rousseau, they're playing excellent. I can't ask for anything more from them. It's specifically a defensive tackle room. And I think that there was a major mistake made by the Buffalo Bills and Sean McDermott this week and I'm sorry to say this because, like I said, I've criticized this guy in the past, of leaving Jordan Phillips inactive. This is a guy who brings you juice. He may be one of the most reckless, undisciplined football players I've ever seen. When I mean undisciplined, I don't mean getting 15-yard penalty. I mean losing gap, control, all type of stuff. He does. But he brings your juice. He brings that attitude. That was a major mistake this week, and I think you saw a big difference out there.
I can agree. He does bring that energy, man. And I told you that earlier, or it was like yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Man, honestly, they might as well go ahead and sign him to a contract again next year because some people just fit, right? I honestly would rather have him next year than Daquan Jones, the way he's playing. I'm just being real, JT. You know what I'm saying? I'm on my JT-ish right now. I'm talking that talk. I'd rather have Jordan Phillips right now than the way Daquan Jones played. Man, he was balling last year. I don't know what the hell happened. You know what I mean?
He got old.
Or like motivation. I don't know.
He got paid too a little bit, so maybe that's the motivation.
Yeah, so I don't know. And I can't disagree with you. And I'm an Ed Oliver fan. He's not bringing it. I mean, we need more out of him. We need a breakout game out of him, like ASAP. This will be a great week for you to wake up, Ed Oliver. But I cannot argue with you in regards to the milk carton comment. I can't save you no more, Ed. I can't say. I didn't even realize he didn't have one sack this year.
No, he got one. He has one. You know who else has one? Casey Toohill. I think Javon Sullivan got one too.
He might have two.
Yeah. Hell, I don't know. Josh Allen may have a sack. For all I know. I'm just saying that's the problem. When you're paying somebody 66% of their contract being guaranteed money, I expect more. You have to bring more.
100%.
100%. He's not bringing.
You got to be a game. You got to make some plays, man.
And when I think about the guys he got paid with in the same offseason, Dexter Lawrence, Quentin Williams, and then him. Dexter Lawrence is on IR and got 9.5 sacks. He gonna finish the season 9.5 sacks, and he only played like 10 games.
Oh.
Okay, the impact is simply not there. So for me, the most concerning part of this defense is the defensive tackle room. 100%. So that's something that you can't fix that from outside. That's internally. These guys got to turn it on, and I'm waiting for Ed to snap. I'm hoping it comes soon. I'm waiting for it, but I don't know, man. It's looking a little grim, there. But I want to move on to our next topic here, and I think that this is something that should 110% be spoken about moving forward. Okay. Obviously, Rasul Douglas went down with a knee injury. We'll see if he's healthy this week. I'm gonna be honest with you, if Puka was killing my ass like that way, like he's killing his ass, I may when I was a knee injury too. I may have said my back was hurting too, cause that motherfucker, oh, excuse my language, dude. He was, man, he was killing that dude. Like man, I felt bad for him.
Listen, you know how I feel. Question is, should Benford follow Shadow? I'm going to say no.
Okay.
The reason being, you're paying Rasul Douglas. And I'm telling y'all right now, man. JT, let's bet.
If you say it, I'm going to punch the screen.
JT, let's bet a double order of wingnut wings. You got to play Shakir Elam.
I mean, you may not have a choice. Listen,
I'm telling you right now, that dude is a starter in the NFL.
And I agree with you.
And the thing is, I'm telling you right now, in a game like we just played last week, in a game that we're about to play, that's what he do. He run with dudes. That's what he do. That's his specialty. Let him run with people. Let him stick on their hip and let him run. I'm telling you right now, do not be surprised. I don't know if they're going to start Ingram or him. I will start Elam. They start Elam. I'm telling you right now, JT, he's going to ball out. Let's bet. I bet you a double order of wings he plays well.
He should. Listen, this is the way I look at it. He's a first-round draft pick. He's in his 4th year. Anytime he hits the football field, he should. But the problem is that every time he does hit the football field, there are splashes. But overall consistency of his play is not there.
You want to know why I don't think that's fair to say? Because he hasn't played an extended period of time to really say that, right? So if we, and I said this prior, Benford, when they drafted him, that same draft, we had it came on this show and we talked about it. I said it. Benford was the better football player. He was. He just went to a smaller school. That happens all the time with people. Like, Shakir Elam honestly shouldn't have been drafted here because what he don't really fit. It don't fit our scheme.
Right.
Like, he's a man coverage press dude. He's handsy. He reminds you of, it's like if we had Joey Porter Jr. here. We would take away that man's strengths.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
So it's like grabber.
Yeah, I mean, he handsy, right? I'm a Joey Porter Jr. fan.
He's a mugger.
Yeah, so you take somebody like that away. You take that ability to be able to jam, be physical, run, press. You take that away. I mean, that was his strength coming out of Florida. That was his strength. And if we're taking that away, yeah, he's gonna struggle a little bit. That's not what he's used to doing. Think about it. At any level of football, JT, if you got a dude that can just cover, you coached. Yeah. You have somebody that can cover on your team you just had. What you gonna do with him, JT? You gonna tell her, hey, go stick there. Hey, she don't catch a pass today. You're not passing things off. And I love our scheme, but I'm just saying, I think that's what may have caused that learning curve. I am a big fan of him. But what did he say? That McDermott called out Elam this week about his status.
Yeah, I'm looking up now. Go ahead, keep talking. I'm trying to see what he says. I'm actually looking up for you guys now.
Yeah, but I'm an Elam fan, and every time he played for us last year in the playoffs against Pittsburgh, correct? And he came through.
Okay,
he
so
came through for us.
I'm gonna tell you what Sean McDermott has said.
Okay.
Because Rasul Douglas has not practiced this week yet.
He's not me. He probably not gonna play.
He ain't playing. He says that about Elam has been active the last 3 games. When Coach McDermott asked Wednesday why that's been the case, he said that everything is earned. That's part of every decision, a big part of every decision for the most of the reasons of who is active, inactive, and whatnot. He said everything is earned and will continue to be earned as we move forward this week, and we'll see where it goes. And they asked him, would he play this week, and he left the interpretation. Well, maybe that, but maybe some other players have earned it more. So sometimes it's highly competitive. Kyrie has been up sometimes, and other times he has not. He hasn't. Okay.
So that tells me is his practice efforts, right?
Yeah,
100%.
Yeah,
and
he doesn't bring. The thing is, they tried to play him on special teams early in the season, and I told you there was a couple busted kickoff returns and things like that, and it was right at Kyrie Elam, because this is the dude who probably ain't played special teams since high school.
Ever.
Yeah.
Ever.
So when they asked about Ingram's ascent due to his ability to play well in both parts of the game, he says, well, you saw some production early. Pick 6 he had and his hands on the ball, making the play in the Arizona game, helping seal the game there. He's physical in the run game, so like all of us, we got things to work on.
Wait, so he said that about
Jamarcus Ingram. He also said wasn't willing to say yet if Elam was going to play in the Lions and Douglas ain't go. He said we'll see. And also Taylor Rapp has been dealing with a neck injury for the last couple of weeks, so keep an eye on that with Micah Hyde. Okay, so this is the thing for me, and I said this on the phone the other day. Kyrie Elam has shown splashes, okay? He's a first-round pick. I'm pretty positive at some point the Buffalo Bills wanted to put him on the football field. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure the Buffalo Bills never wanted to trade a third-round pick for Rasul Douglas. They would have preferred Kyrie Elam to be on the football field because
just work out.
It would have cost a whole lot less. It wouldn't have cost a premium pick, and it wouldn't have cost $9 million cap hit this season with the possible extension after this season coming up. All right, but what I will say is the last time we saw Jamarcus Ingram, he was making plays. You know better than anybody. When you get your chance, doesn't matter if it's a minute, if it's a play, if it's a quarter, if it's a half, if it's a game. You have to make the most of that opportunity.
You have to. That's 100%.
And when he's saying that it's earned, that means that Jamarcus Ingram then worked his way up from the practice squad all the way to dressing above a healthy, and I want to say it again, a healthy first-round draft pick. Now, it's up to interpretation if they're wasting Elam, if they need to move, but this is why I said you needed to move him at the deadline and bring another cornerback in here. This is why I said this. And I understand it's a great insurance policy, but you could have got an insurance policy from somewhere from free agency.
The reason why I disagree with that, you just can't plug and play with the systems like that, right? Like think about last year.
In the system.
But think about Benford when he came over. He said that Micah Hyde was telling him what to do last year, right? So it's like if you bring somebody in who has to play, you get what I'm saying. I don't think it's not a knowledge thing. So we can't say he can't play in it because it's not a knowledge thing. From what those comments are saying is that it's a practice habits thing. And there is a lot of star players who practice habits suck. Like I'm just gonna be honest with you. I've seen it where there's some guys who's really, really good, but they practice habits suck. And right now, especially if you're the third or fourth corner and your practice habits are just not good, your ass gonna be inactive sometimes. And I don't blame McDermott if that's the case. I applaud it, right? We start Ingram, cool. I mean, he has made plays. I'm not saying he's a scrub by any means, but I personally, I look at matchups. I look at what people do. Man, you got Jameson Williams, right? You got St. Brown. He'll be working out the slot. What's old boy? His last name Patrick, who's making a lot of catches.
Patrick, or Denver Bronco receiver.
Yeah, so it's like, man, put Kyrie Elam. You want to get physical? Let's get buck with him this week then. Let's see what you got, right? Let's see what you got. Show me. You know what I'm saying? You about that? Show me. That's where I'm at with it.
So the way
it's not like he's played terrible when he's been in now. Don't forget he started 2 games this year.
It's up and down. It's up and down. It's been up and down. It hasn't been the consistency.
He started a couple games this year. Has he hurt us?
But has Jamarcus Ingram hurt us, or has he helped us?
Not that I never said he hurt us.
No, but that's the difference here. Kyrie hasn't hurt us, but Jamarcus Ingram has helped us.
Yes, but as Kyrie Elam did as well when he started. Let's not act like he didn't start this year when Benford missed those games. Kyrie Elam started. Let's not forget that.
So I'll say this: when he's saying everything is earned, they both should be active this week. But I believe Jamarcus Ingram should get the start. If you got to pull him, you got to pull him. But he's earned that. He's earned it. He's worked his way up. He's made plays. He's earned it.
I don't disagree. Me personally, I'm starting Elam. That's just me.
And they just might do that. But and they may just do that. And I would be mad at either one.
But you got to realize the effect of it, too. If you start Ingram, you have to take him off some of those special teams, too, though. So there's going to be a domino effect there. So do you start Elam because he already is not a special teams guy? What do you want to – you get what I'm saying?
You had Elam on special teams earlier in the year. You did.
Yeah. Yeah, so what I'm saying is, well, you could technically start him on all the special teams that Ingram is on and then also turn around and have him as your starting corner. So I personally think you should go Kyrie Elam if he earns it. Not saying just give it to him, right? We're talking about a good practice week for both guys.
I will start practice week, right? Like I said, I want to see the kid be successful. I don't want to not see him be successful. My thing is, I just believe that his time in Buffalo was pretty much up, and I'm tired of headlines. I'm tired of the chatter from the fan base of what we're gonna do and when he's gonna play. And I just hope that at the end of this season, it just comes to an end. That's just where I'm at with it because it's over here. It's not working out here. He should get a fresh start somewhere else. And I'm okay with that. And I still think he's gonna be a good player. I just don't think it's gonna work out here. But the topic really was should Benford follow the team's top receivers
and that's why I said no. That's why I said playing that other guy there.
So
just hold it down. No.
I'm gonna say yes. I am going to say undoubtedly yes. And the reason I say that is because it's not something we've normally done in Buffalo, right? We didn't really do it with Trey White. But Benford is just a different animal. He's a different beast. And this is a guy that we really about to pay. Yeah. Okay? Like, you see a difference when he's on a team's top guy. Like, for instance, if he followed Puka Nacua all game, I'm not saying Puka won got his because I think Puka Nacua is actually probably a top 5 receiver in this NFL.
100%.
And I don't think that's even a question at this point in time. If you question it, it's probably because you ain't watched him and you don't really know what he's doing because you ain't watching no Rams games.
Would you take? Let me ask you this, not to get too far off topic. Who you think a better slot, Puka or St. Brown?
Puka Nacua. I think Puka Nacua. I think Puka Nacua is a top 5 receiver, boundary slot in this entire football league.
Yeah.
St. Brown can't do the things he does. Like him, but he can't do the things he does. Which, when we talk about that topic later about the Bills coming to Detroit, the Bills should be. They had a lot of good practice this week in this live game between Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua. But I'm gonna say Benford should follow the top receiver. I think if you would have had him on Nacua the entire game, I think Nacua still maybe had 100 yards, but it wouldn't have been that easy for him. Yeah. Okay. It wouldn't have been that easy. Now, mind you, I do want to talk about the depth of his catches. He caught five out of his I think he had 12 receptions was under 5 yards, okay? So it's not like they were just throwing the ball across the yard. He really went off on Teron Johnson on the crossing routes, which I've said before. I love Teron Johnson as a cornerback. I love his hard-nosed ways. But in man coverage, I said it last year, you always look at the back of his jersey. You know who it is because you can read Johnson.
Listen, I know one thing about playing at that level, man. It's hard to cover them drag routes and man coverage. Oh my goodness.
It is. But we're paying him. Is he the most top paid nickel corner in the league? Hey, listen. When you get to a certain pay scale, we pay.
But listen. Do you understand how hard it is to cover a drag? I don't give a damn how much you pay somebody. A drag route.
I understand. I mean, they made some good catches, but I'm just saying, listen. If you pay scale here, like we talk about, we'll never talk about Dwayne Carter right now. We talk about Ed Oliver. Why? Because the pay scale is different. More, as they say, more money, more problems. So all I'm saying is this: I think that Benford should follow the team's best receiver. Now, against a team like the Rams, that would present some problems just because, like I said, if he's playing, if Puka's in the slot, you can't really do that because now you're going to move Teron from the slot and he does not play the boundary. Mm-hmm. So there's going to be certain situations, but when you have that boundary receiver, I think he needs to follow. And I think they need to do that. I don't care if it's Tyreek Hill. Well, maybe not Tyreek Hill necessarily because the Bills have a pretty good game plan for the Dolphins. But if it's a Jamar Chase, if it's a Justin Jefferson, if it's a
So you would
CeeDee
take
Lamb,
you would take Puka over Tyreek?
yeah,
Ooh,
100%,
interesting.
100%,
Interesting.
100%. I think that I think those dudes phenomenal. And not much he can't do. So I'm gonna say, yeah, I think he should follow the team's best receiver moving forward. I think it puts less pressure on that second cornerback position. I felt really comfortable with Rasul Douglas going against a Cooper Cup, and I'm not the Cooper Cup no slouch, but this ain't MVP level Cooper Cup. Okay, let's be honest.
He probably would have been on DeMarcus Robinson.
Yeah, I mean, if we had that matchup, I'm not really too worried about that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I think it takes the pressure off that number 2 cornerback. So, and actually, to be honest with you, depending on what the matchup is, if you had a Rasul Douglas versus like a DeMarcus Robinson or Cooper Cup, you may be able to man certain matchups on 1-on-1 without a lot of safety help and rolling the coverage over.
Agree.
Okay, because like I said, Rasul Douglas no slouch. I'm just saying that. So, but yeah, I think he should. I think that's something that the Bills may look into moving forward. I did see him travel a couple of times with Puka in the game though, which is a little bit different. I did see that. But I want to go to next topic, man. And we'll bring in our international D dot after this topic. McDermott is questioned by the fan base. So there was a couple controversial calls that the fan base was harping on. The main one, the 3rd and 17 or 3rd and 7 that he could have had 4th and 7, or he could have pushed him back 10 yards for the holding penalty for 3rd and 17. A lot of fan base went off and said, well, he should have not have taken a penalty because obviously we know what the outcome was. Was it Parkinson getting a 12-yard catch, something like that, and making it 4th and 5?
Yeah, I mean, you take the penalty and push him out of field goal range. You trust your defense to make a damn play. Like,
hello.
I mean, that's people are so emotional. Like, there's like, why then if he didn't and he went for it and got on 4th down, the first now them same clowns would be saying, hey, you know, he should have took the penalty and pushed him out of field goal range. Why didn't he do that? Like, people, man, these Muppet babies, man, they need to stop, man.
Let me explain something, okay? 4th and 5, 4th and 6. I mean, really, he pushed him back, and it ultimately ended up being pretty much the same situation. You're talking about a difference of 2 yards. I would definitively say, and I wholeheartedly believe this, I don't care if it was 4th and 5 or 4th and 7. Sean McVay was not kicking that field goal. He was going for it because he knew. First of all, Josh Allen went all Super Saiyan on him. Okay, there's no way in hell he was giving Josh Allen that ball back, only up by 6 points. You're asking to lose. 100% asking to lose. So I think even if he did take the penalty, it was 4 for 7. They were still going. I still think they were going for it.
Yeah.
First of all, why wouldn't he? You have an offense that basically ain't been stopped all game. Puka could do whatever he wanted to, and when Puka was stopped, you had Cooper Kupp. Why would he kick the field goal? And it's not like it was a gimme field goal. That was like a 52-yard, 53-yard field goal. So if you miss this, you're going to give the Bills the ball at their 43-yard line? No way. He was never kicking that field goal. And I think Sean McDermott knew that.
Yep.
So guess what? If he only got I didn't like the defense. I think we went into a way too soft prevent defense, especially to have Cam Lewis out there in our sub linebacker package. It actually gave me Houston Texans playoff vibe with the check down to Tywan Jones.
Ooh.
Same situation almost. Literally, if you really think about it, it's almost the same situation. So I didn't really like that part, but oh well. They got him to 4th and 5. They got the first down. They end up getting a touchdown. But are we going to do this week after week? Like, this team just won 7 games in a row. A team that was projected by many experts, including myself, to go 9-8, 8-9, maybe at best 10 wins. But here we go. Oh, we lost the game. Oh, here we go. We're going to call him McDummy. We're going to call him this. We're going to, I think that's all bullshit. And I'm not saying that, and I'm not saying he's ever going to win a Super Bowl here. I'm not even saying that they shouldn't look for a better coach of future if he can't get the job done. I'm not saying that. But what I'm saying right now, living in the moment, is he's done so much for this franchise to get us to the point where contenders every year, AFC East champs 5 times in a row. For you to blame, for you to question everything he does every time we lose a close game, stop it.
No coach in Bill's history has ever done that. So if you win in your division, I mean you're a contender. No matter how you dress it and draw it up. People can say you don't have a shot or whatever. Guess what? You got a ticket to the dance and you won your division. So I mean you're a contender. You're contending.
Let me ask you a question, okay? And I know people are gonna bring up the great Marv Levy, and I don't want to disrespect Marv. Okay? I don't want to disrespect Marv at all. I'm not trying to do that when I say this. But I know they're going to bring up Marv Levy in the 4 straight Super Bowls. Let me explain something to you. Okay? That was back in the early 90s. There was no free agency. You couldn't even leave if you wanted to. They paid Bruce Smith a league-leading contract of 5 years for $7.5 million. Okay, and Ralph Wilson, no, I'm sorry, $8.7 million. And Ralph Wilson chose to match that restricted offer by the Denver Broncos on the 7th day, the final day he can match it. Okay, that was a whole different era of football. That's why the Cowboys stay good. That's why the Giants stay good. That's why the 49ers stay good. And that's why the Bills stay good in an extremely weak AFC. Because if you really want to go back to early 90s, the top 3 NFC teams were better than the AFC, the best AFC team, which was the Buffalo Bills half the time. Okay, more times than not. Which is why every AFC team used to get blown the hell out in Super Bowl. If you want to go back and look up some horrible scores, go look at the Super Bowls between 1980 to like 1995. Horrible. Got blown out. People was watching the games for the Bud Bowl commercials at halftime. Because the game was over. The game was over. The NFC Championship game was the Super Bowl. Whoever won that, you got a free ring. Congratulations. No, sorry, Buffalo Bills. I'm sorry. Don't get mad when I say this. Boomer Esiason wasn't winning nothing. Dan Marino wasn't winning nothing. It took John Elway to get to 36-year-old doing something. Okay? It wasn't happening. So, stop bringing up the Marv Levy thing, blah, 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 blah. That was back in the early 90s. Like, they just started running hurry-up offense. Cut it out. You know, get off his case for every damn game. Every time we lose a game, it's McDermott's fault. It's McDermott's fault. You're going to have games where you can't stop people. Yep. The defense is Bobby Babbage's. The offense is Joe Brady's. And we had one very, very crucial play that really could have probably cost us this game. And we're going to bring D-Dot to talk about that. So with that being said, any final thoughts on the fan base once again questioning McDermott on the 4? Oh, he didn't go for it on 4.
I think it's super stupid even to question anything about it. We can move on.
Now, mind you, I do want to say this. So there was a person on your page, I'm not going to say any names, that going on and on, blabbering about McDermott, we need to fire McDummy, he cost us the game. And I'm just like, how? He should have took the penalty. Okay, they still going to go for it. It wasn't going to change nothing. They were still going for it, so what's the difference? I said the outcome was pretty much the same, 2 yards. Blah, 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 blah. I said, okay, I'm going to do this for you. I'm going to give you the option to fire Sean McDermott and give me one head coach, because everybody says we need an offensive-minded head coach. Okay, whatever. Fine. You pick one.
Yeah. People are so, like...
I told him to pick one. Go ahead. Take your pick. What do you mean? Pick one. It's very simple. Very simple concept here. Well, what year am I firing him in? Whatever year you choose, buddy. Pick one. So after texting back and forth on Facebook for like 10 minutes for the guy to finally pick one, you know who he picked? Do you want to know who he picked?
Tell the people, JT.
It wasn't Kyle Shanahan. It wasn't a Jim Harbaugh. You know,
Kyle Shanahan who folds and crumbles in every big moment. Okay,
but that's what I was kind of expecting. You know, a name like that, maybe a Sean Payton, because a lot of people, you know, he picked Ben Johnson, and I said, well, damn, we don't know We ain't seen Ben coach not one game as a head coach. We don't know if he can run an organization. We don't know if he has what his relationship with players are. Like he could have picked Zach. He could have picked Zach Taylor from the Bengals. He could have picked anybody. He picked a coach who has never coached one game as a head coach in the NFL, and that told me all I need to know. People don't know what the hell they're talking about. They also don't know what Sean McDermott's real role in this franchise is. It's not just the head coach. You cannot just replace him with someone that X's and O's. This is not a Nick Sirianni situation or a Mike McCarthy situation. He runs the franchise. He's pretty much team president. So it just freaking baffles me, you know. But as I told you, I'm riding with McDermott till the wheels is off. Okay,
Absolutely. No
I'm
question
riding
about
until
it.
the wheels are all off. And if they ever get rid of him, I don't know. I consider getting rid of him. Getting rid of the Bills too. I may rock with him. I don't know. I may switch the hats, switch out the memorabilia.
Just think about this, and I'll keep going back to this. Think about Philly. They had they would trade 3 first-round picks to get Andy Reid back there, and people tried to run him out of town.
Who came after
They
Andy
would
Reid?
pay.
Who came after Andy Reid?
That was what's the name? Not Frank Wright.
Was it Chip Kelly?
It was Chip Kelly.
Offensive-minded coach, right?
Yeah, because they fired him and then they brought Chip Kelly and he messed the team all up.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Who are your 3 top coaches in the AFC, just specifically AFC right now?
I'm going Andy Reid.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going Mike Tomlin.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going John Harbaugh.
What did John Harbaugh coach?
Special teams.
What did Mike Tomlin coach?
Defense. He was a receiver in college though, but
he was, but
he's a defense.
But he came from the defensive side of the ball. I just find it funny. The Houston Texans up there, right? What did D'Amico Ryan play and coach?
On defense all day.
NFC, top 3 teams right now. Who are the top 3 teams in the NFC?
You going with Detroit, Philly?
Dan Campbell is not an offensive minded. He's an offensive player, but he's not an X and O offensive guy. He coaches the team like a defense. He coaches the team like he's a linebacker.
They have that approach, absolutely.
Yeah. I just want to throw that out there when we talk about offensive minded head coaches and things of that such.
People fail to realize a head coach is not about. They're not just calling the plays. They have very little to do with. That's why they have coordinators. The offensive coordinator is going to coordinate the offense. You need a leader of men as a head coach, period. You need a leader of men. I'm sick of the foolishness. You need a leader of men.
But I don't want to get too far off topic. But that just wanted to say that, you know, after every loss, we're going to go back to this questioning thing. And then it brings me to my next topic, and we're going to bring D. Dot in. Welcome to the show, D. Dot. Glad to have
you. What's up, fellas? Y'all got me rolling, man.
It's been a couple of weeks here.
JT on this JT-ish today, man.
But it just, you know, and this is why I actually like doing this show on during the middle of the week, because it allows me to get my thoughts together, you know, and not be emotional. The other narrative that I hate, okay, the Bills are wasting Josh Allen's prime. I'm so tired of this damn narrative. What? How? How are they wasting his prime? Where? Show me where. Because we lost a great shootout game. When we played last year, who do we lose? Who do we lose to in the playoffs last year? The Chiefs, right?
Yeah, Chiefs again. Yeah.
Did Josh Allen leave a couple throws on the field?
Yeah, always.
In that game, right? He left a couple throws on the field.
Anybody,
right?
any quarterback is. Yeah.
So how did the Bills waste his prime? When we played the Houston Texans that year, did Josh Allen have the greatest game in the world when we lost? I mean, mind you, he was young. He was second year.
Yeah.
No? How did they waste his
prime?
prime?
It was a forgettable game.
Yeah. Who else we lost to in the playoffs? We lost to the
Bengals.
Chiefs and the Bengals. Did Josh Allen play great that game? Not at all. So how did we waste his prime that game? That was somebody else's fault, right? There's literally one game in Josh Allen's career that we lost in the NFL playoffs that you could say Josh Allen had a magical performance. And there you go. The
Yeah.
Chiefs. That one game. So stop with the narrative that the Bills are wasting his prime. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about here? Where? He has a great offensive line. He's had receivers. He's had multiple running backs, starting caliber backs. They've continually drafted defense. They've continually invested in the pass rush. Where in the world are we wasting his prime? Where's this coming from? Yeah, there's great quarterbacks who lose games all the time that, hey, the defense didn't play well. You can't say that too much about the Bills' defense in Josh Allen's career. Because I'll tell you what, through about 50%, maybe even 60% of his career, the defense always came to play. And bailed him and the offense out. Miss me with that shit. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
You got anything on this, James?
I just think it's emotional. People emotional, right? If Josh Allen ends his career with 2 Super Bowls in Buffalo, what would y'all consider that?
Dub.
Just one. Get just one in Buffalo.
I think emotional. People don't realize how hard and how rare it is to have a Super Bowl winning quarterback. Like, dude, like that shit is hard, man. Like, it's very, very difficult to win a Super Bowl. Like, it's ridiculously difficult. Like, everything got to fall in place. It's bigger than Josh Allen. What about Deion Dawkins, who's a damn good left tackle? Nobody's saying we wasting his prime, right?
Right.
It's you get what I'm saying? Like, nobody felt bad for Jerry Hughes.
Yeah, no.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
no one felt bad about Poyer and Hyde, right? If anybody had their primes wasted in Buffalo, it was Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer.
Or even you can look at Fred Jackson. He did everything right to set a foundation for us to come in. Even LaShawn McCoy. we don't say we. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, I don't think we're wasting his prime. I mean, it's very difficult to win in the NFL, period. If I'm projecting Josh Allen's going to get 2 or 3 Super Bowls here. I think once he gets one, that first one, he's going to start rolling them off. I think he'll get 2. I think he'll get back-to-back or 2 in 3 years. I think it'll be like that. But wasting it, hell no. The Bills, this organization are doing everything in their power to put a team around him to be successful. They've done everything they can to help him. They went and drafted a receiver. They went and drafted a receiver.
I always getting a damn like. I don't get no likes. I've been saying all year I get no thumbs.
Drafted a receiver. You went and traded first round pick to go get Stephon Diggs. You had John Brown. You had Cole Beasley, right? You draft Dalton Kincaid. You draft Dawson Knox, right? Think about it. It's not like they're not doing like the Green Bay Packers did with Aaron Rodgers, where they never drafted a wide receiver in the first round. Never drafted one. The Bills immediately went and traded a first-round pick to bring a stud in here, Stephon Diggs. They went and got an offensive line around him to protect him. Look at what Mahomes dealing with right now. This dude is getting splattered. You got a franchise left tackle. You got a stud at right tackle. You've had you a center since Mitch Morris. Now you got one that's playing his ass off in Connor McGovern.
Switch it right out.
Yeah, you got a really good right guard in Osiris Torrance. David Edwards is silently having a really, really good season. You put everything around, so they're not wasting nothing. They put everything around to make him successful, to help him be successful, to keep him protected, to make sure he's good. Josh Allen barely get touched, man. Let's be honest here. He barely gets touched.
He's been sacked the least in the NFL this year.
Come on, man. You know what I'm saying? And it's not like he's just taking off like he did in the past. He's not. Josh is sitting in the back pocket being patient. He's making plays with his arm. He's not using his legs as much as I've screamed at the TV multiple times, like, dude, just take off. Give us 4 yards and slide or whatever. I've screamed multiple times. He's a lot more mature. He's sitting back there. He's going through his progressions. He's making the throws. So wasting his prime, hell no. That's foolish for anybody to say.
D-Dot.
Yeah, man. I mean, I agree with you guys. This narrative is also coming from a fan base in general, where when Josh was picked, a lot of them were saying it was the wrong Josh. Like,
I mean,
let's keep it
yeah.
real.
Oh, I was on that. I was on the boat.
You know,
Me,
oh
I
man,
was with
hey,
Josh.
I was among that too. Well, I wanted Josh Rosen, to be honest with you. I really
That's all I
like
wanted.
his skill set. Yeah, I really like what he had to offer. I didn't know enough about Josh Allen. I had nothing. I had zero. Now I think James and I talked about it a couple times. It was like, yo, who is this Josh Allen dude? And I had to watch the Senior Bowl, man, and even get a glimpse of what he was. So yeah, man, I'm in alignment with you guys. I mean, it's the narrative that the media puts out there, in my opinion. They always want to try to key on one guy. That's why I love football, because it's all about all 11, man. All 11 on the football field being in tune with each other. And I mean that's garbage. You know what I mean? And whenever people talk about that, I just look at them like, yo, you really just don't know ball.
You know, the thing is, and I'm gonna move on after this. Josh Allen is just getting to his prime. This right here, this is his maturation process to his prime. Okay, this is the first year that he's the leader, unquestioned leader of this football team. This
Absolutely.
is his damn prime. This is no different than probably the same age that. Actually, I want to look this up really quick. Okay, Peyton Manning, Brett Favre. Brett Favre was around 28 years old when he finally got his first Super Bowl. Okay, Peyton Manning was around 30 years old, 28, 29 years. You don't get to your prime as a quarterback till you get to that age.
And the thing is, they act like these other guys have got like 3, 4, 5 Super Bowl rings. These guys all got 1, 2 Super Bowl rings. Look at Elway. The man didn't get Terrell Davis got him one. He
Right.
didn't get those. Let's keep it funky. Terrell Davis got those for him.
Right. So Brett Favre was 27 years old and 27 years old when he got his first Super Bowl. Okay. I'm gonna look up Peyton Manning really quick, just to. I mean, Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. You can't. Those are different. You cannot compare those. All right. Well, I'm gonna look this up really quick.
And GT, while you look that up, man, I think some Bills fans are experiencing PTSD, man, because they see how Tom Brady abused us over those years, and they want to use that as like you know what I mean, the gleaming example, man. Like you said, that's rare. That's a unicorn right there.
30 years old for Peyton Manning. And if you want to talk about Matt Stafford, because you want to talk about a team wasting someone's prime, Matt Stafford may have been a guy that you actually talk about possibly. And I don't necessarily agree with that. His prime was wasted. I believe he's part of the problem too. But if you really want to really say that, wasting a prime, that's wasting a prime. A first round pick who's throwing up 45,000 yards a year and can't get a team around him to even sniff the playoffs.
But and once again, they never got him a real offensive line either. So
Right.
they got a legitimate beef.
Right.
Our line, man, listen, come on.
This team have been a Super Bowl contender for 5 years. A legit. Now we ain't made it to the promise, but it's been a legit Super Bowl contender for 5 years. Okay, Peyton Manning didn't get his first Super Bowl until 30 years old. There's a maturation process. There's things you have to learn. Josh Allen has finally learned how to run with protecting himself, keeping himself healthy, being the unquestioned leader. Okay, these are things that he's just doing right now. We have literally, let's be honest with you, we have probably another 7 years of Josh Allen being top echelon quarterback.
Easy.
Very easy. 7 years. Knock on wood, nothing crazy happens, but you probably have 7 years. This is his prime. This is it. Okay? I would say that somebody said that that 40 is the new 30, but I'm not gonna say no names because the allegations out there right now. Okay, but when NFL years, okay, 30 is the new 20 for quarterbacks as long as they're healthy. I'm not gonna say no names. I ain't trying to be part of nothing, but you get what I'm saying. But I kind of want to move on to D-Dot. I want you to talk about the Bills offense with you, and obviously the Bills offense is putting up some crazy numbers lately, and Josh Allen is, and we're going to talk about the MVP odds, but Josh Allen is literally just crushing it with this offense. What are you seeing now, specifically to Amari Cooper this week? It looks like that connections with Cooper Risk getting back, getting healthy. That connection's coming alive. Dawson Knox, now I know you went on the milk carton for a couple weeks. We couldn't find you, but we got you back. But Dawson Knox is also now off the milk carton. So what are you seeing from this offense now that's making, we're scoring?
Yeah, man. Once again, I really hope that people have an appreciation for the talent that Amari Cooper is. He's a guy who can erase some mistakes. The one goal ball that Allen had to him, that should have actually been about 3 to 5 yards down the field. And even Allen you could even see Allen like, yo, my bad. He let him know. But Coop throttled down a little bit, grabbed, beautiful, beautiful catch, man. I don't know how he saw the ball, past the defender. He was still able to make that catch. But that's a catch that, upper echelon talent is able to make. That's a catch that, particular person out in Jacksonville would not be able to make. You know what I'm saying, in my opinion. He would need cleaner windows, especially with the catching technique that he had. But either way, I digress. The talent of Amari Cooper, man, is Alex. I see you. What's up, Alex on here, Mal?
I see.
But the talent there, man. And I really what I like to see is the chemistry between Josh Allen and Mac Hollins in those spot plays, man. That spot duty. Because of course Mac Hollins is going to be a 10 to 12 catch guy. You know what I mean? Throughout the course of the game. I mean, our offense is set up for that. But if somebody got to take over, it's not Mac Hollins, not Mac Hollins. But he's going to be a guy that's going to be able to stand up and accounted for at the right time. So I really love what the offense started to do. Now, the only gripe that I have is the way that the Rams were fitting the run, because the Rams defense, let me see, they 24th in the pass and 28th in the run. A team that's at the lower rung of both, they're gonna choose which one they're gonna focus on, man. Mm-hmm. And they clearly focus on stopping that Bills run. They were like, yo, y'all ain't running on us. Y'all gonna have to put that football downfield. And the only thing that I wish Brady would have done sooner is go to more spread formations, right? Because if a team is keying on your run, they're trying to fit your run. Those linebackers are coming downhill, and they're just pinning their ears back in there. They're going, even DBs going, man, spread them out. Let Josh, and the thing is, for people who don't know, when you spread to a 5-receiver set or even 4-receiver set with that running back, set wide, what you're able to do, what Josh is able to see where potential blitzes are coming from, where, potential guys are, guys may be coming from as far as leveraging, the defense, rushing the offense. That gives you a clearer point of view of where that might be coming from, right? Because it's harder to stack defenders. It's harder to do all of those things.
Now, let me ask you, is that what you're saying when they push Ty Johnson out and he just, like, in that awkward position, like lined up a little bit past the right tackle?
Yeah. And I don't know what term they've got for that now. But when you see it, you're like, damn, you look a little wide. But that's essentially like having that slot, man. You know what I mean? In a five receiver set, you just got that running back. And a lot of times you'll see that running back set out there wide, and then he'll come back in, into the tackle box condensed, so that they could try to identify, what guys are doing, right? Or where guys are going to be coming from. So I wish that Brady would have flipped to that sooner, because I didn't see him start to do that until end of third and definitely in the fourth quarter. You know what I'm saying? Give Josh that ability. And then if they're keen on that run game, man, go back to those quick short passes. You know what I mean? Hitting Shakir, for those screens. Hitting Samuel for those screens, where you can utilize those as like the run game, since they want to key on that run game with Cook and Davis and of course, Ty Johnson.
What are you seeing from Khalil Shakir this season? I mean, this is a guy right now. Last season, Khalil Shakir had 39 catches for 611 yards and 2 touchdowns. Just in this season alone, he has 65 catches for 735 yards now and 3 touchdowns. A guy that's definitely on pace for getting over 1,000 yards receiving this season. What are you seeing from him and how he's been using this offense? Because, I mean, I don't want to say I told you so, but I banged the table for this dude to be playing his rookie season.
You did.
Yeah.
What are you saying?
Honestly, I've just seen a guy that can win at all 3 levels. Simple as that. He can win at all 3. People, I think there was a commentator one time. He was like, "Yeah, he's not the fastest guy. He's a 4.4 guy. That's not slow. Okay, let's get that out there. He's not the biggest guy, but what difference does that make? And he catches everything. He catches everything, man. I think they credit him with that drop on the one low throw from Josh, which annoyed me, by the way. That annoyed me. Josh drifting to his left, man. He's got to tighten up his feet and his mechanics. He's setting up too wide, and he's not stepping on the line to be able to close that shoulder to be able to get the throw. He's starting to rely back on his arm a little bit, but neither here nor there. Shakir catches everything, man. I just see a guy who's got hands like glue, who can win at all three levels, and he's just got juice. And when he decides to go, he goes. It's not one of those dudes that's tiptoeing. He's going and he's getting a field, man. I love that. I love guys that get north and south real quick.
What receiver off the top of your head, it could be past or present, does he remind you of? Because I have one in my head that he reminds me of. But what about you? I want to know who you think.
The only part where I think he may be lacking is like his physicality. And not saying that he's not physical, but to be real, in my opinion, he reminds me of a Steve Smith.
Okay. Yeah.
Panther Steve Smith.
That's a good one.
I like it. And he's just less he's just less about it. He's more quiet about it. Yeah. You know what I mean? But he reminds me of Steve Smith as far as his skill set.
You know who he reminds me of? I think I was telling Mal this the other day. He reminds me of Tyler Lockett.
Yeah, that's
he reminds me a lot of prime Tyler Lockett. Just like I said, all three levels, catches everything, making the big play. You forget about him and his touchdown. And I know, Cindy, you asked what is his rack, which I think you asked for his yak yards. 533 of his yards, 533 of his 735 yards is yak. That's crazy. So, what are you seeing from? Obviously, they stopped our running game the other day. Why do you think that this was the game that Amari Cooper and Josh Allen kind of broke out? Obviously, Cooper having 6 catches for 95 yards here.
I just think the way the mindset that the Rams came out with, it seems as though they came out with the mindset like, yo, James Cook is not beating us, Ty Johnson is not beating us, Ray Davis is not beating us. So what are you gonna do? And to be real with you, like that's why I said have an appreciation for what Amari Cooper is doing this year, man. Because that's when he's special. You know what I mean? You can see it now why he will be putting up those numbers that he will put up, in previous years. He's a guy where it's like, okay, well, you're here, I'm here, I'm gonna beat you. And he's not a guy who's, beating his chest and all demonstrative about it. He just goes and he whoops ass and then he goes back into the huddle. Like if you ever see them when they're celebrating him, man, the dude's even conscious about not hitting his helmet too hard. Like, Yeah. So I think he's just one of them dudes where it's like, all right, man, chill. You know what I mean? Let's whoop ass, but relax. Yeah. You know what I mean? So it's good to see, but yeah, man, it's super dope.
And last thing, and I mean, obviously the Josh Allen MVP odds, and James, I'll bring you back for this. His odds was 250 going into this game against the Rams. It's very rare that a quarterback loses a football game and his odds for MVP goes up, increases. James, do you think this race is over, or do you think he needs one more showing this week versus the Lions?
I think he needs another showing because if Saquon Barkley, if he breaks that rushing record, I think he's going to get it. If he don't wrap it up this week, he's going to have another big performance this week. I think he's going to need a win as well to wrap it up. A big performance and a win. A big performance to still keep him as the front runner. Not saying he's not going to get it, but I think a big performance and a win wraps it up.
So they beat Detroit this week. And he plays well.
Yeah. 4+ touchdowns.
Do that?
I agree. I'm not. I think Jackson's still up there, but I don't trust Jackson past December. I just don't.
You know what's gonna kill them though, D-Dot, is they lost them on the losses they got.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think too, Derrick Henry being there is gonna hurt him because it's like, all right, why is this happening? Why is their offense so good? Why are they winning? And Derrick Henry's the new cat in town, so he's gonna get the praise, in my opinion, on that one. At this point, I think it's Saquon or Josh or nobody else.
Yeah.
Ray Cruz also asked who was more missed that game. Was it Coleman or Kincaid? Well,
Neither.
I say I don't think either one really missed, but if you look at the stats, Dawson Knox had 1 catch for 5 yards. I'd probably say Kincaid.
Yo, JT, just a touch point on that. To be real with you, what the Bills are missing though is kind of how what the Rams just did to the Bills defense is what the Bills are missing. And what I mean by that is this: a lot of the times, if you go and review the game, a lot of times they had Cooper Kupp and Puka Nacua on the same side.
Yeah,
that stresses the hell out of a defense, man. Yeah. And if you look at Cooper, Amari Cooper's first touchdown with the Bills, where he ran that post route, guess who was on the same side as him? Coleman.
Yeah.
Stresses the hell out of a defense. And guess what? Both aren't burners. Both guys, you know what I'm saying? Amari Cooper can get downfield, don't get me wrong, but he's not, you know what I'm saying, like a guy who's known for, you know what I mean, just taking the top off of a defense. Right? So they eat primarily, you know what I'm saying, the mid-tier, the mid-level routes, and you know what I mean, the shorter routes, and just being able to, you know, leverage the defense and all that good stuff. I mean, the Rams, we saw that with the Rams, you know what I'm saying, the Rams combination of those two guys. I think we're missing Coleman with being able to provide that on that boundary. So I mean, that's just something to look forward to when Coleman comes back.
And I think it probably be. I think it's sooner. I think it's gonna be this week personally.
He playing this week. He announced he playing this week.
Okay, I know it was pretty close to returning. So
Matt, with the breaking news, I didn't even know.
Yeah. So
that's why you get the thumbs up, dog.
That's why you get the thumbs up.
I don't get the thumbs up. I don't never get the thumbs up neither.
Now he got fireworks.
Yo, what is this?
I told you, man. I told you.
Yo, what is going on right now? How do y'all do that, man?
I don't know how. I've never seen that on this before. He got more fireworks.
Yo, that's ridiculous.
I think he paying somebody to do this.
Yo, he is, man.
I'm going back to the main screen. Can I get some fireworks sometime? Maybe not. I don't know. But I like it. Crazy fans cussing me out. That's all I get. But moving on, man. And our last topic of the night, we're talking about. Obviously, we got the big game coming up, as we dubbing it, the showdown in Motown. Bills heading to Detroit to play the 12-1 Detroit Lions, and we know all about the Detroit Lions. They got them two backs and David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. They got them receivers and Armon St. Brown and Jamison Williams. You got the tight end people don't talk enough about Sam Laporta.
Yeah, man.
A very good offensive line and a coach that likes his teams to bite kneecaps and Dan Campbell. So we know this is gonna be a scrap.
We took that from Rob Likens, man. I don't take my man Likens' terms.
Hey man, listen, this is America. We're taking stuff for 100 years. If you ain't claimed
hundreds of years.
Yeah, if you ain't claimed it first, then it ain't yours. Okay, yeah. Okay, even Colonel Sanders took the chicken recipe. All right, so I'm just saying, and we do in KFC. I'm just saying, all right, but no, big game this week, man. Big game. And I mean, this is once again, like I said, if you're a pure football fan, 2 weeks in a row, man, we got some great football matchup for the Buffalo Bills. What are you seeing from this game, James? What do you think the Bills need to do? What's your biggest concern going against the Lions? And yeah, all that jazz, man. Let's get going. Fireworks.
All right. So what the Bills need to do is come on out.
Are you doing that?
And bring the fireworks. You know what I'm saying? Bring the fireworks, Bills. Bring the fireworks. You know what I'm saying? That's all they gotta do is bring the fireworks. Bring them. And they bring the fireworks. Man, listen. But no, seriously. I think they're going to come out and just stay themselves, man. It's too late in the year to try to change your identity. Do what you do it well, do it at a high level, right? Get back to the basics. I hate to say it, but get back to the fundamentals. At all levels, when you lose, it's usually because you get away from your fundamentals. Even at the youth level where you know, you got 6-year-olds. Usually when you lose, it's because you got away from your fundamentals. Get back to your fundamentals, having a strong base and foundation at that D line, right? You probably look at them, I guarantee their base is too narrow or base is too wide. You know, it's so getting undisciplined, not violent hands, not working hands, right? So you look at there. So I think you just get back to that and just do what you do. I think you'll be perfectly fine. I mean, you have way too many weapons on offense and defense to not be fine. Just do what you do, execute the game plan. I think they'll be fine. And the thing is, Gibbs does scare me in the passing game. It's not even the running game; it's the passing game. That's where because he can make people. He's elite with making people miss. That's where he scares me. But hey, we'll see. Let's go out there. Let's line it up. And if they lose, Bills fans, I don't want to hear none of this panic emotional shit. Fall back. They good. Like they're good. This is the time to they sorting some things out right now.
And we're assuming that they possibly win those last 3 games. We got 3 games remaining: 2 versus the Patriots, 1 versus the Jets after this game, right?
Yep.
Was that the last 3? That's it, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Listen, D Dot, what you got? Bills Lions.
Yeah. I'm actually gonna go with, I don't know if he's Sonic or Knuckles. I'm actually gonna go with David Montgomery. He concerns me more because the Bills have a problem with more physical backs who break tackles, and that causes them to have to now fit the run, blitz a little bit more on the play action and everything. And that's not to say that Gibbs isn't a concern. To be real with you, the only concern with them on offense, from my perspective, is Gibbs and Montgomery. I'm not really too concerned with Amon-Ra St. Brown. He's nice, don't get me wrong, but he's more of a diminutive guy. I think Taron Johnson can match up with them decently. Not to say he's going to shut them down, but he can match up with them decently.
Better matchup than Nakua?
Yes, hell yeah. Okay. Hell yeah. Because Nakua is 6'2", 200-something pounds, man. Either way. Either way. Better matchup. Jameson Williams doesn't, he's one of those guys that's still going to try to run downfield. And even Jared Goff doesn't do that, doesn't do it for me. If the Bills keep it close, which I'm assuming they will, at least play from in front or keep it close, I think they put the heat on Jared Goff that he folds like Chinese origami. You know what I mean? In my opinion. So I'm not sure of that. Those running backs though, they're real, man. Oh, and I really believe that Josh can have a leg up on the defense too. Aaron Glenn likes to blitz a lot.
As beat up defense
protections. Yeah. Yep, and beat up. Yeah, exactly. Beat up defense too. So as long as Josh is good with his protection and sliding, I think they'll be good.
I was looking up the injury report here, and I was looking at Alex Azalon, Lions linebacker, IR. You have obviously Aiden Hutchinson on IR. You have Alim McNeil, their best defensive tackle, who just got paid. He left last game with a concussion. Obviously, I think that he'll probably be able to play this game, but you never, with things like that, you never really know. But this is a guy who's coming off a concussion. This Lions team, they're really they're beat up. They're beat up pretty good, especially on that side of the ball. And that particular side of the ball is a side of the ball when you're going against the Buffalo Bills team, you don't want to have any shorts right now.
Yeah,
this offense is clicking well, and they can beat you in multiple ways, as can the Lions. But I have to agree with D-Dot that they're somewhat limited in what they do, right? And I think this is a game where the offense needs to come out to a hot start, and the defense needs to come off to maybe a kind of a hot start and get the offense up, get on the board and get up. If you can eliminate the running game from this game, this is a game that the Bills could probably run away with if they really wanted to. And I'm not saying that the Lions are not one of the most complete teams in the NFL, and they do scare the hell out of me. They really do, because they have that I don't care attitude and I never die attitude, which I think is really outside of just their good players. I think that's their driving force, is their attitude. You got to get up and take the running backs out of this football game. If you do that, you saw Jared Goff in the game earlier versus Houston this season where he threw 5 interceptions.
Yep.
Okay? This is a guy that if you knock him off his spot and you knock him around, it throws him completely off. You can't have the game that you had versus Matt Stafford last week where you got no pressure and it was non-existent. You got to get there. You got to get there often early. And if you got to blitz to do it, you blitz to do it. Like you said, D-Dot, Jameson Williams, he's a big play receiver, but that's pretty much all he is. He's a one-trick pony at this point in time. He's not a guy that's going to hit bubble screens. He's going to run the field, or he's going to hit down and out and curls. It's pretty much all or nothing. I would say there's two guys who scare me the most on this offense. I'm going to say Jahmyr Gibbs, just because of the home run ability. Now, David Montgomery does scare me because obviously he can wear a defense down. And that's not a guy that you want to be having to be down and have him running downhill with you in the fourth quarter, which is another reason you need to get up in this game. But the other guy is Sam Laporta. This is a guy that if you have the wrong matchup, he can take over a football game. And when we talk about the safety matchups now, James, now this is where it gets concerning for me. When you start talking about Sam Laporta, when you start talking about Matt Milano still knocking his rust off, and you sit watching the Sam Laporta, to me, that's where it's concerning. And I think that's the guy who can possibly break this game over. You know Armand St. Brown. Listen, he's probably going to go into this game. He's probably going to have his 8 catches or 10 catches for 90 to 100 yards. He's a volume guy. You're gonna get that. That ain't going to kill you. I don't think it would be even as impactful as the Puka Nacua catches was this game. But I think it's Sam Laporta and Jahmyr Gibbs. I think those are the two you got to key on, and those are the two you have to stop. As far as the offense goes, they're beat up. You have a very aggressive safety group, a safety that makes some very questionable hits in Kirby Joseph. You got to keep an eye out. As they said, when we growing up, keep your head on the swivel for him. Because if he gets a chance, he's gonna take you out. We've seen multiple clips. He's gonna take you right out. If he got to go for your knee, he'll go for your head. Hey, he's gonna do it. So it's a game that I'm really excited to watch. I'm not gonna give a score prediction. I don't even want to try to score predict. Y'all can do it if y'all want to, but this game, I just want to enjoy and watch this game. This is gonna be as JR from Jim Ross said in WWE, it's gonna be a slobber knocker. This one, it's gonna be a big one, and possibly, just possibly, I don't want to say that word, but a preview of that big game come February.
That game, that probably to be the most exciting Super Bowl matchup of everybody in the league right now. Mm-hmm. Like I just think about the people. Just say if the Bills were to make it, I think they would dog Philly because they got a lot of shit going on there right now. With the AJ Brown and Jalen Hurts thing, that's not. Yeah, that's not good. I don't believe in Minnesota. The Packers, no. Like the Bills will dog walk any of them teams in the Super Bowl, in my opinion. So I think that'll be a very exciting Super Bowl. I mean, I just don't think Kansas City offense has enough to even stay with them, right? So I look at that's probably the best case scenario for the NFL would be a Bills-Lions Super Bowl.
Yeah. I mean, that'd be good. That'd be good for money value too, right there. Like so we talk about marketing in NFL. NFL stands for National Football League, but also stands not for losses. Meaning they ain't take no shorts money wise. Where I think Josh Allen gonna win this MVP because they about to max out that market value. Just being real about it. But no. Yeah, man. I think this is a big game, and like I said, I can't stress enough. I'm excited to watch it. It's 2 weeks in a row that I get to watch this team play against a very good football team on the road, and big game. I think Josh Allen can lock up MVP, but we need big performances from that defensive line this week.
Absolutely.
And Von Miller returning to Detroit is big. And I mean, I wonder where his head's going to be at in the game. Obviously, we do remember that's the exact same field he tore his ACL on.
On Thanksgiving, yep.
On Thanksgiving, okay. So you guys want to give me score predictions? I'm not in this week on it, but y'all go ahead if y'all want to do that.
It's gonna sound crazy, but 38-31.
All right, 38-31. All right. D-Dot, what you got?
I'll go 34. I'll go 34. I'll go 34-30.
Wait, Bills, right, James?
Yes, sir.
Oh.
No, you know what? I'm switching it. 38-32. It's gonna be an odd score right there. 38-32. Okay, Bills win.
I know Mike Back, who has our CFR group, will love that scoregami thing. So he always put in the group. So I know he'll love that. Here we go.
Yeah, it'll be 38-34 in my opinion, Bills.
Okay. Yeah, I ain't giving one. I'm not doing it. I mean, I ain't doing it. And Ray Cruz wants the final comments on newly acquired ownership groups. McGrady, Vince Carter becoming minority owners amongst other people this week. But those are the two that stand out for us the most is Vince Carter and Tracy McGrady become minority owners. Closing thoughts on it is honestly, listen, when the Pagulas bought the Bills, and I'm just being honest, I'm grateful in buying them, but the Pagula, and this may sound crazy because they have a lot of money, but their money don't stretch like the other owners' money stretch, which is why when they were forced to build this new stadium by Roger Goodell and NFL, which is why they make Erie County pay for half this damn thing, because they don't have Jerry Jones money or Stan Kroenke money just to pay for stuff. And now I'm pretty sure this is not just a strategic thing bringing these minority owners. That stadium bill just got more expensive.
Yeah, you see the comments they made. They said this was the worst possible time to build a stadium too.
Yeah, I mean, and listen, it's never. Okay. It's hard building anything in the city of Buffalo that's gonna take that you can't get done by the summertime. Straight up. Half the weeks you can't even work in the winter. Like right now, the dudes can't work out there right now. So, like I said, man, the bill got more expensive, and it's probably going to get more expensive as you go along because there are going to be complications. Their money don't stretch like some of these other owners. So, yeah, I'm glad that they're bringing some other owners, minority owners, because honestly, most teams are doing this now anyway. No one's just owning the team straight up no more like that. Like, those days are going to be, in the next 20 years, those days are going to be dead and gone, man. Ain't nobody putting that stress on them unless you just get egotistical. But anybody, you got any comments on the ownership thing?
Let's see what happens. I mean, they got a small percentage, which is cool. It'll be cool to have T-Mac and Vince Carter tied into the Bills, and they got that soccer player as well. I believe he is. Yeah.
Oh, Joe
so having them. Yeah. I want to see. We'll see what happens. See how they're going to promote it. See how they're going to be involved. We'll see.
Yeah. Like I said, they're going to sit back and collect the bread. Remember, Venus and Serena Williams and things like that. Yeah, you used to be minority owners with the Dolphins. I don't know if they still are, but they were one time.
Yep.
You got anything on that, D-Dot?
I mean, I think it's cool. It's a cool talking point. I think it's nostalgic for us. You know what I mean? And of course, don't forget they've got that strong connection with our partners north of the border. So I think that strengthens that a little bit more too.
Bring back the Toronto game, right?
Nah, I don't know about all that. I don't know about all that. They can come over here, but going over there, nah. I've got PTSD from that anyway, JT. That's another story though.
Maybe a preseason game.
Yeah, nah. They stay over there with their round bacon, man. We good.
I like round bacon.
Round bacon.
Canadian bacon.
They got Canadian bacon. It's more like ham though, but they call it bacon. They got shrimp bacon too though, but yeah.
All right. I don't mind that. But no, other than that, man. Let's see. Next week we got a big game, so let's see if we come back with a dub. I'm gonna call it the battle of the slots, man. I'm curious to see what the numbers are gonna be for St. Brown and Khalil Shakir in this game, and yeah, man, intense ball game. Hopefully the Bills come out with a win. Hopefully the Chiefs lose when we get back into this bye week race. I kind of think I kind of think it's over personally. That's just my personal opinion. I don't think they're gonna lose enough games for us to catch up. But you never know.
Yeah, they got a horseshoe up their butt, man.
Yeah, it's gonna run out. It's gonna run out come January. They keep playing.
Eventually, it's gonna run out.
Yeah, Can't get 9 lives. They already used about 7 of them things. So, but other than that, guys, great show. Thank you for coming on, D-Dot. Get you on next week again. And hopefully next week we're on with a better result. I got to think what day we're going live next week. I got to work out of state next week, so we'll see how that works out. But everybody, I know you're out there doing your Christmas shopping and you're rushing and doing things and trying to get prepared. Just be safe. Safe travels. A lot of crazy people out here. A lot of people rushing, not paying attention, less aware this time of year. So just like I said, just be safe, stay safe, and make sure you're around to enjoy the holidays with your families. But other than that, we'll catch you guys next week. Thank you as always for tuning in. We'll catch y'all later. Peace.